Hello, Kirby Eagles. I have a little ghost tale for us today. Our author is Kay Winters. Our illustrator is Lynn Munsinger. And this is The Teeny Tiny Ghost and the Monster. Listen up, said the teacher to the teeny tiny class. The Spook and Spirit Club is sponsoring a contest for all the ghosts in our teeny tiny school. A contest? Squeaked the timid teeny tiny ghost. It's a Make a Monster contest just in time for Halloween. They are looking for a monster that no one has ever seen. Yay! Cheered the ghosts in the teeny tiny class. Then they shouted their ideas one by one. A monster that is hairy, one that you'd be scared to meet. A monster that is fierce with fangs and has too many feet. And one that gobbles girls for breakfast, boys for lunch, and cats for trick or treat, added Buster with a big bad grin. Oh no, cried the timid teeny tiny ghost. He sat up very straight in his teeny tiny seat and clutched his teeny tiny black cats. Not a monster that would eat his little cats. With big black markers and paint as red as blood, the little ghost in the class began to draw. But the teeny tiny ghost put his teeny tiny head down on his teeny tiny desk. How could he make a monster that was horrible and hairy? That would be much too scary, like a nightmare coming true. What would your monster look like? Would it be horrible and hairy? What a wimp, whispered Wilma. What a teeny tiny twerp. He's a baby, mocked Buster in a whiny baby voice. Goo goo boo hoo, baby boo. He shot a rubber band at the teeny tiny ghost. Wilma and Buster are not being very good friends to their classmate. What are they acting like? If you said bullies, you're right. Time's up, said the teacher, and she put away the paints. Take your monsters home with you and finish them tonight. Tomorrow we will hang them all and give ourselves a fright. Where's yours? Whispered Wilma to the teeny tiny ghost. Didn't do it? Too bad. Bet the teacher will be mad. You're the only one who won't be in the contest. Poor teeny tiny ghost. Wilma is picking on him. Don't give up. Never quit, said the teeny tiny teacher as she hugged the timid teeny tiny ghost. I know you can do it if you put your mind to it, she whispered in his teeny tiny ear. The teacher's giving him confidence that he can do it. He can do this project. The teeny tiny ghost sighed a teeny tiny sigh and picked up his two black cats. They started flying home over teeny tiny town. But Buster and Wilma flew right behind them, diving in, diving out, up and over, round about, till the teeny tiny ghost felt dizzy. Down, down he flew to the teeny tiny dump and hid underneath an old clock. Soccer practice, shouted Wilma as she looked at her watch. Buster will be late. It's time to go. Bye-bye, baby boo, Buster called as they flew, and they zoomed off to the teeny tiny park. Phew, said the teeny tiny ghost. They're gone. And he and his cats looked around. There were raggy, saggy sofas, springs and wires out of place, and a teeny tiny clock with one hand upon its face. There were checkers, but no game boards, no brooms, but lots of mops. There were cages, but no songbirds. There were curtains with no tops. The teeny tiny ghost gave a teeny tiny giggle as he saw what his cats had in mind. Here's a monster in the making. We can do this after all. I bet you could find all kinds of things around your home to create your own monster. The teeny tiny ghost found bits and pieces that he wanted. He stacked them and he packed them in a box without a lid and flew home to his teeny tiny house. All afternoon till the moon rode high, the teeny tiny ghost and his teeny tiny cats worked in his teeny tiny barn. He drilled and they hammered with a rap, rap, rap. They poked and they pounded with a tap, tap, tap. He twisted and they turned the wires tight in place. Then the teeny tiny ghost finally made his monster's face. On Halloween morning at teeny tiny school, some very scary creatures peered down from the wall. That's mine, boasted Buster. It's the meanest one of all. Very similar to Buster is his monster. When the teeny tiny ghost and his cats flew in, they pulled and pushed their monster down the hall. Monster bounced on its springs with a bim, bang, boing. The teeny tiny ghost took a teeny tiny bow. I made a friendly monster out of parts from the dump. It can stand, it can boing, it makes me laugh. Look at his little monster. Buster smirked. Wilma snickered. And then Buster spoke, very softly so the teacher wouldn't hear him. Who ever heard of a monster made of parts from the dump? It wouldn't scare a baby. It's a teeny tiny chump. All morning long, the teeny tiny ghost wondered who would win the monster contest. They wiggled, they giggled, they couldn't keep still. Do you think Buster or Wilma will win? At recess, the teeny tiny teacher stood guard by the teeny tiny door. No one could peek. At last she jangled her teeny tiny bell. The teeny tiny ghost lined up to go inside. Then they marched to the teeny tiny hall. There were bright satin ribbons from the Spook and Spirit Club. I'm so excited to see who's going to win. Yellow for the monster whose eyes glared and glittered. Red for the one with the lips that snarl and sneered. But the big blue ribbon, the prize for being best and never seen before, was on the friendly monster's chest. He won! Clap, 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 sounded up and down the hall. Was some of that clapping from the monsters on the wall? The teeny tiny ghost gave a big thumbs up and beamed at his two black cats. I knew we could do it if we put our minds to it, and we won the blue ribbon after all. The teeny tiny ghost and the monster. What would your monster look like? Would it be frightening or would it be funny? Maybe that could be a fun project for you to work on this week. Have a great day, Eagles.